Welcome back to Finding the Truth series, where I present a step-by-step guide on how to find the truth of our existence. This is part 8 of the series, and in this part I will be talking to you guys about the intermediary criteria. Now, the intermediary criteria is criteria number 2, which I talked about in the previous videos. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. So what is an intermediary? An intermediary is someone who claims to have communicated with God and who can be proven to have done so. So in this video, I will try to discuss how I develop criteria number 2, and if it is logical. The criteria is listed here. I will try to explain each part of the criteria. A. Evidence of historicity of the intermediary. It is only logical that the intermediary must exist for us to actually believe what they have to say. B. Evidence for the intermediary's claim. I limited this to 2 aspects of evidence, but there could be more. Number 1, revelation. This has to do more with criteria 3, so I won't go into this in detail. So you can see the previous video for more detail. If the revelation can be proven from God, then obviously the intermediary is going to have evidence for their claims. In other words, that they have contact with God. Number 2 is miracles. Miracles are supernatural occurrences, things that go against our understanding of reality. And the only person that could shape reality or change reality is God, because he's the one who determines reality. Therefore, if an intermediary does true miracles that we could actually prove are actual miracles, then we could say that this intermediary has contact with God, and then their claim will be substantiated. C. Intermediary must describe God as per criteria 1. Now, you can refer back to criteria 1, but it basically lists the necessary characteristics of God. It is only logical if the intermediary doesn't describe God with the necessary characteristics, then we're going to have doubts that this person is actually an intermediary. D. Consistency in the message. So obviously, if a message is from God, there's going to be consistency. You're not going to see God saying 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, because that is a contradiction and it doesn't make sense in real life. So it only follows that the message that the intermediary comes with has to be consistent, has to have no contradiction. E. The intermediary's message is similar to the message of other intermediaries. If an intermediary has similar messages to other proven intermediaries, then this adds to our confidence that the intermediary is from God. Because if there's multiple intermediaries performing miracles with revelation that has the same message, then this is obviously going to add to our confidence that the intermediary is from God. F. Moral character, integrity, and trustworthiness. So God essentially determines what is good and what is bad, because he's the one who determines reality and what is truth. So this is called moral objectivity. God is morally objective. What he says is good, and what he says is bad, is bad. It would make sense that people chosen to be intermediaries would have good character in that case. If the person was not trustworthy, why would anyone listen to them? If the intermediary is meant to be a role model, why would they have bad character? So it only follows that the intermediary should have good moral character, should be trustworthy. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a good representative of God. G. Prophecies that come true. So intermediaries throughout religions tend to make prophecies. If these prophecies are unexpected and yet come true, it is likely that the intermediary has contact with God, because only God would have knowledge of the future. H. Remains true to the message. So the intermediary should remain true to his message, because if it's from God, then you wouldn't expect the intermediary to let go of the message or lose hope in the message. If the intermediary remains true to a message in the face of persecution, this implies steadfastness, resilience, and unwavering commitment to one's belief or principle. This adds to the credibility of that message. I. The intermediary did not do it for any personal gains. Again, this is another thing that adds to the credibility of a message. If someone is doing it for money, fame, or has negative intentions, or has qualities of greed and self-interest, then this is less likely to be the truth, and the person is just doing it for themselves. J. The mission has success. If a truth claim is from God, you would expect it to have some sort of success. Although this isn't necessarily true, it would help to add to the credibility of the message. K. The message leads to an increase in good and a decrease in bad. Again, we talked about how God determines what is good and what is bad. And since God determines reality and determines the truth, God would advise towards the good. Therefore, the religion should increase people or society in terms of good, as long as they follow the message. I hope those criteria make sense. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to be testing truth claims and religions found around the world by the criteria we have developed in part 7. If you enjoyed the video, please like, and I'll see you in the next one.